Showing you how to replace a shock. It's basically going to be a strut spring transfer over to the new strut. Now what you're going to want to do, you can rent this tool, but I mean be very cautious on this. If you don't do this right, it's pretty much like a grenade and it can kill you on this procedure, and very hurtfully, like it could hurt you a lot. Send you to the hospital in that regards, but I'm just warning you, I'm not responsible for any damages, for any mistaken things that you do on this to help or hurt you in this kind of situation. This is kind of be like a little tutorial of how I do it. It's not like a guide or anything. It's just showing you the way how I would do this. So I don't want you to hurt yourself. If you don't feel like you're capable of doing this, then don't take the procedure on doing this. But again, if you're not comfortable, if you are comfortable, then I would handle the job. If not, then I would take it to someone that's more comfortable on doing this type of work. So if you can, just like and share the video, and then comment down below if you have any questions in regard to this procedure, and then hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And then we'll go ahead and start this video after the intro. Alright, so here's the new shock that we're going to be using, and then obviously here's the old one. The stuff that we're going to need is actually just the rubber and the upper top bellow mount. If you didn't need that, then obviously you're not going to have to worry about that. But right here, normally this would sit in right there. And then you need to make sure that this bellow is actually in great shape. The car only has 50,000 miles. This is good. It's just this guy's crooked, if you can see in the video how it's popping out. Kind of sketchy at this point. And then right here, usually some of these guys will have a bearing, and the bearing can either go bad, so when you take it apart, the bearing can break apart. And then now there's a few different kind of nuts. So there's different type of locking nuts. This one, it has nylon right here. So basically this will keep the bolt from backing up because of the nylon. Will lock it in place. Now if you're having a hard time taking these guys off, what you can do is get like a propane torch or a lighter and just burn off this until it's bubbling, and then hit it with an impact so it comes out pretty easy. Now that this one doesn't have that, this one's just a regular nut. Basically you can either use like a wrench that's like it's an offset, so basically it would be like a ratcheting wrench or something, and you can stick an Allen right here to lock it in place, and then basically loosen it just for that. Or you could hold this piece right here, or loosen it with a nut, and then grab some pliers and hold this guy right here on the shiny part. The more upper you have it, it's fine, because this whole thing is not going to bottom out, and it won't damage the seals on the strut assembly itself. So we're going to go ahead and use this tool. It's a McPherson strut spring compressor. Part number is 27036. You can get this at your local auto parts store. I got this one from AutoZone. Now again, you need to be very extremely cautious and careful of how you set this up. So basically you're going to have these pins. These will be your locking in pins, but still don't depend on these. Sometimes they can pop right out. So we're going to go ahead and set in our bottom one. Our top one will be the free floater. And then basically as soon as we get one in, we'll go ahead and lock it in place. And then same thing like this, we'll go ahead and lock that one in place. So we're going to go ahead and just do a little snug fit. We're going to hold on to this bottom. And then basically you're going to be using a 19 millimeter for this McPherson strut bolt.
And I was getting paid over there $40 a window.
And then same thing for right here.
It was a bigger company than your uncle?
No.
And then we're going to go ahead and just lock these guys right in place. Hold that in style. Now you need to make sure that these guys aren't bottoming them out. So right here you need to make sure that these aren't going to be cutting this area. If they are, you're going to go ahead and tighten it. So right here, this guy is actually damaged. I'll show you that right there. For this one, we'll be using a 19mm for the top piece. Oh, whoops, I meant 17 actually. Now again, make sure that this is always laying on its flat, and then that you have it away from everything else. Just like that. So you want that set up just like that, so you don't want it sitting up. You don't want it sitting like this or like that. You want it laying down on its side, so just in case if it loosens right up, that if it does unload its pressure, that it unloads it the way how it is and it's not ricocheting off anything else. Now you can see this guy's actually pretty bent. It's all crooked. And then for this guy's all damaged. As you can see, it's broken. All the bearings are out of place. So gotta order this, so we'll go ahead and pause the video for this part, and then I'll get another upper bellow mount for that piece. Alright, so we finally got our new strut tower. Basically this is how it should be, nice and firm, so it shouldn't open up just like that. And we're gonna go ahead and hook up our shock. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this guy. Just be careful because this is tension loaded. So once we cut this, it's just gonna stick right up. So just like that. Then you want to go ahead and reuse your bottom cushion. This will basically keep any kind of noise from going on. Now if there is noise going on, obviously it's probably because you're missing yours, and it should have one of these. I've came across a few cars where they don't have them. They're not equipped with those. For this particular reason, this one does have it. So we're gonna go ahead and put on the spring. Now for this bottom piece, make sure that the bottom of right here, so right there, this bottom notch lines up with this notch right here. Then we're gonna go ahead and put in our bellow. Now make sure your bellow mount is actually in great shape. So this one's not crumbling as we squeeze it. So this one's gonna sit just like this. And the same thing for this guy. It's gonna sit just like that. Now normally you don't want to sit it like this, but just for this video I'm only doing that. Hold on, baby. So now we're gonna go ahead and sit this guy down. And then here's our new nut. This one has the nylon on it. So now one thing I forgot to mention, on the top of the hat there might be a groove indentation where so on the top of the hat, there might be a groove indentation. So like right here, you need to make sure that you have it pretty surfaced on the bottom. You should mark it with the old one, but since we're using a new one and it doesn't have an indentation, and then this one has roller bearings, so it doesn't really matter where we put it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and bolt this guy down. A lot of people say do not use vice grips. I'm actually going to use vice grips on the top piece. Obviously this thing is never going to collapse all the way down, so might get ridiculed on that, but again it's going to be on the top of it, so there's no way it's going to bottom out. Now, if you don't have an impact gun, that's no problem. You can actually use a they actually sell wrenches. You can actually get these ones from Lowe's, where that the wrench itself will, you can be able to put an Allen through it. So now make sure everything's all lined up, and then we're gonna pretty much go ahead and loosen up our bolts right here. So once you get everything off, just basically just pop out these pins. This is pretty much good to go. And then for your bellow, you just want to go stick it right back up there. Oh, this one's not sticking, so, but anyways, make sure that these guys are lined up right here. So make sure you're not overlapping it. You want it in the indentation, you want it to be on the spot, and then basically you would be ready for the install. If this video helped you out, comment down below, give it a thumbs up, like and share the video, and then hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future, and thanks for watching.